All right, I think we are on. Okay, so tonight I'm going to share a little bit about this awesome new strategy that I am implementing in my own business and why I'm so excited about it and why I wish that I had started something like this 5 years ago when I started my business. So I don't know if any of you have seen this going around at all yet. It's called Make Chic Happen. Emily says, yeah, she's seen it. There's probably ads blowing up your Facebook accounts right now. But I ordered one because it piqued my interest, and it's put together by Melanie Mitro, who was the #1 coach 4 years in a row in the business, and Katie Ersta. And they are both social media marketing wizards, and I have taken their advice for years on how they run their social media accounts, but I just love their approach to having strategy behind their content. And it's something that I have not been really serious about. I've kind of dabbled in it a little bit here and there over the years, but never really stuck with anything long-term as far as having an actual marketing plan. So I'm excited about it. And I want to share with you kind of what this looks like in here. You can get the Make Chic Happen planner on Amazon. I think it's like 30 some bucks, or you can just do your own thing based on these same ideas, and you don't even need the actual planner. It is really helpful. It's laid out really nice. I will say it was a great $30 investment, but this isn't like you have to go get that today if it's not in the budget. So let me tell you how it breaks it down. You start off by looking at your 12-month goals. So deciding at the end of 2020, what do you want your social media to look like? How do you want it to be different than it is today? So this can be things like, how many followers do you want to have at the end of the year? How much growth or how much engagement do you want to have on your posts? How often do you want to be showing up on social media? Any little thing that may be different about how you run your account. When I'm talking tonight, you guys, I'm talking specifically about Instagram, but this can be Facebook as well. It's just that's where I'm pouring my heart and my attention right now. So that's kind of like where my brain is at, just so that you know that. So you take those 12-month goals, and then you're going to write them down and divide them into quarterly goals. And so how you do that is you're taking, for example, say you want to have 10,000 followers by the end of the year, and you already have 4. So you need 6,000 more followers over the course of 12 months. You're going to divide that by 4, and that's your quarterly goal. Okay, and then that's easy to break down week by week, month by month, to be able to see those shorter term goals. But that's kind of where they started with the whole marketing goal, to know where you want to go, and then you can break it down on how to get there. The part that I love most about this, though, is the monthly calendar, and the idea of actually having a plan and a purpose behind your posts. So I don't know about you guys, but if I'm ever working off of a list, or even if I'm not, I always know that I need to show up on social media consistently. I need to be on there posting something every day. So the non-planner type person that I am, every day comes and I think, what can I post on social media? And I type up whatever I can think of for the day. I take a quick picture, or I find one that I have taken in the last couple weeks, and I throw it up. And there's no thought. I shouldn't say there's no thought. I do put a lot of thought into what I share, but there's no purpose as to when it's shared, or apart from I know certain times of the day are better than others. There's no content strategy. So there's no oh, I should post this today because yesterday I posted this. It's just kind of I throw up a post online to check that box and to say okay, I did my post. And then it's, you're sitting there, and they talk about this in this planner as well, but you're sitting there crossing your fingers, hoping that it sticks with somebody, and somebody's okay, yeah, that I connected to that. Let me sign up with her for that group. I have every intention, let me read the chat here as I'm going. I have every intention of doing them ahead of time, and then here I am last minute. Yes, that happens to me all the time. And it's really hard to have a consistent message on social media if we are doing it last minute. If you think of any big business, no big business is going to, just take it last minute and just throw something up. Every big business is going to have a strategy and a plan, and they're going to know the month ahead what's going to come out. And so this takes a little bit of prep time. I took a good solid week leading up to the start of February to get myself organized in this. And I think it's going to take a lot of tweaking as I go through the year to get used to it, because I'm not a really regimented planner type person. But this is what I'm finding is that this is just like meal planning, where you think that if you take the time and you're scheduling it all out and it seems really overwhelming and it's going to take a lot more time, but actually it's taking way less time. And I'll tell you why. I'll break down why it's actually so much more efficient to do it this way. But so let me tell you how I've broken mine down, and you can look at your own goals, your own, however you want to structure your monthly marketing plan with this. But I really like how Melanie, she's done this type of strategy for years, and she's talked about it. And I think she has a really good system, and I'm kind of jumping on board following the same kind of structure. So the first 2 weeks of my business, I am going to be marketing towards challenge groups. And the second 2 weeks, I'm going to be marketing towards team building. You can do however you want, but you want to do only one message each week, so that you're talking about the same thing constantly and consistently, because one, not everybody's going to see any given post that you throw up, right? If you post several, they may just see one or two of those. So you want to be consistently showing up, and you also want to be sharing the same message with them, the same type of invite with them for a while, because they say it takes 7 to 14 times, right, for someone to see something before it sinks in and they're ready to jump on board. Well, if they're hearing come join this thing, oh, do you want to join my team? Do you want to do this? It's they just get pulled in a lot of different directions, and they're not focused in on what you're really trying to talk to them about or invite them to, right? So so I'm doing the first couple of months towards challenge groups. They say to do 10 to 14 days. So you pick your deadlines, right? So if I'm looking at my monthly calendar, you're going to circle the days that you have big deadlines. So the 14th of February is my challenge group enrollment deadline. I've never had a set hard deadline like this before. And I've never done only one message at a time before. So this is going to be kind of trial and error. But I do know this is, if you follow the system, coaches that have done this consistently have really, really good results with it. And so I'm really excited about it. So I circle the 14th as where my challenge group enrollment is going to end. And then you're going to count back 10 to 14 days. And that's where you are going to begin marketing for that specific thing, right? So then those whole 10 to 14 days leading up to the deadline, you are talking about different aspects of the same invitation. So for challenge groups, you might be talking about meal plan, you might be talking about workout, you might be talking about consistency, you might be talking about accountability group, you might be talking about whatever, all the things that go into challenge group, or that talk about people's fears about home workouts, or that battle anybody's objections that they might have around their fitness and their nutrition and getting, that. So all of those messages will go into the first 2 weeks. And then the second 2 weeks, I've circled the 29th of February as my deadline for new coach enrollments. And counting back 10 to 14 days, I've circled the 18th, where I'm going to start marketing the coaching opportunity. And those last 2 weeks, every day, my posts and my stories and everything on social media is going to be related to growing my team. What does that look like? What is a day-to-day life of a coach? All the things that have to do with maybe what's going on inside people's head as they're thinking about like, what did we actually do as coaches? Could I do that too? All the things that maybe we would do inside of a sneak peek, those are going to be happening on my social media the last 2 weeks of the month. It's going to be the same thing every month, which makes it super easy for me to plan content and that sort of thing month to month, right? Planning it all out. So here's the reason why this is so efficient and such a time saver is because you can repurpose your posts. If you plan it out and you have it scheduled ahead of time and you can see where things are plugged in. I'm going to give you a little look at this. Now this, don't let this scare you. It looks intimidating because I've got a lot on here, okay? But they have it broken down with Facebook, Instagram, and Instagram stories. So I can repurpose things across different platforms using the exact same content that I just spent all that time thinking about what I should write about, and I can turn it into a story, and I can turn it into a Facebook post, and I can turn it into an email, and I can you can do all these different things with the exact same content, and you're not having to come up with post after post after post after post on the fly and not know what you should be talking about. And then on top of that, you're being consistent with your message so that people are getting the same message over and over, and they're starting to understand what they're being invited to. So to give you an idea here, I've got a call to action happening tomorrow on Monday for my challenge group. And that same post is going to be posted on Facebook and Instagram. Then I can put down here that on Instagram stories, I'm going to share that post to my stories. Then later in the week, I'm going to take that exact same content and I'm going to go live about it, talking about my call to action using the exact same things that I said in my post, but I'm going to just say it live on Instagram. And then you can post it to Instagram, IGTV, or you can save it as a post on your feed. There's just so many ways to repurpose content, which I have not taken advantage of at all in the past. And I'm just, like I said, I'm so excited about this because only 1 week in, so I'm about a week ahead of where I will be. So this week, I spent last week prepping for February. This is the first time I'm doing this. Got my content all figured out. You don't have to write every single post ahead of time, but you put a little tagline about what it's going to be about, and you know what you're going to talk about that day on Facebook, Instagram stories, and then you can plug and play all the other things in there. You're also including things that aren't related to your like challenge group. So for example, one of the things that draws people in for me is my adoption story. So what are you talking about to your audience? What are people connecting to you for? You know, what do you share that connects with others, right? Other than your health and fitness stuff. So I'm making sure that I'm sprinkling in enough content for the adoption story or parenting, that sort of thing in here. And that's all on here as well. What was I just going to say about that? Repurposing content. It'll come to me. But then the other thing I'm loving about this is that at the end of every week, you can then go back and evaluate, okay, what worked from my content and what didn't work? Like which post had the most engagement? And you can see, okay, maybe that was the post I expected the most engagement from, but sometimes you guys, I'll spend the most time writing a post and it gets the least amount of activity or attraction. And it's like, okay, was that the time of day? Was that because people just aren't interested in what maybe I'm thinking, maybe I'm speaking to them wrong? And if we can analyze what's working, it's so much easier to give our audience more of what they're actually interested in and keep them coming back for more and keep them engaging with our content. Okay, let me just check the chat here real quick. My goal is to have them planned and set up on Sundays, but then life happens. I know an excuse is not okay. Yeah, and okay, when you say challenge groups, you're talking Lifers group. Yes, exactly. Challenge group is Lifers group. This month I'm trying something new, not something totally new, but something I used to do. I'm also going to be hosting like a separate, smaller faith and fitness group where I'm going to be doing a Bible study in mine as well. But yes, exact same concept. Challenge group is a Lifers group. would take this as a challenge. Okay, yeah. Do you bulk invite or invite every day? Great question. Here's what I would say to that. Do what works for you. So it's just like our pastor said in church the other day. Somebody said, like, which version of the Bible should I read? And it's like, whichever one you'll read, just do it. So whatever works for you. If you're more effective doing bulk invites and doing them once a week, do it. If you're more effective and more consistent doing a few invites every day, do that. So just do whatever works for you. But I will caution that if you're doing the bulk invites, you have to be consistent with bulk invites. Because if you're doing them once a week and you miss 1 week, you've missed a whole ton of invite opportunities. So I do think that if you can get consistent with at least doing a few every day, that is really helpful, but I've seen successful coaches go both ways. So good question. Okay, this is a side note, not something I was planning on necessarily talking about today, but another thing that I'm super excited about and also horribly terrified about is that I've made myself a challenge, and I'd love to challenge any of you guys who want to jump on board and do this with me, to go live on Instagram every day in the month of February. Live on Instagram is something I've never done before, or if I had, maybe once, and it's been like forever ago, maybe when they first came out with live. I go on and I talk on my stories, but I never go live because I'm scared of the live concept. Like, you can't just delete it if you don't like it, or if you say something dumb, you know, people are watching now. And so this really, I know that you guys feel that same fear, because there's a reason why hardly anybody goes live on Instagram or on Facebook. And it's because those fears are in our head. So yesterday was day one, right? February 1st. And I literally sat here in front of I've got my ring light right here. I had my phone set up, and I sat here like speaking affirmations and praying for a good 30 minutes. Like, I can do this. Just do it. Just push the button. Like, I was so scared, and I've been doing this for 5 years, you guys. But that part is uncomfortable for me because I haven't made myself do it. So today I went live for day number 2, and it was a little bit easier. It only took me half the amount of time to sit there and like tuck myself up and just say, okay, just do it. And I felt so proud of myself when I was done. So I know that the things that we're most afraid of are the things that push the needle, move the needle in our business. And so I challenge you guys, if anybody is afraid of going live on Instagram, join me this month. I made a little calendar of each day what I'm going to say, or, you know, I didn't plan it out, but I planned out what the topic is. So like today was 3 things that are sabotaging your weight loss journey. Yesterday was why motivation, the idea of motivation keeps us stuck, right? So anyway, but that's a whole nother thing. But that goes along with the content, you guys, because my live videos that I'm doing, which by the way are 3 minutes long, like 2 to 4 minutes and done, really quick. And they go along with the content strategy that I'm doing. So the first 2 weeks, I picked messages, I picked things to talk about that are going to correlate with getting people plugged into an accountability group, plugged into a Lifers group. And then the topics that I'm going live about the second 2 weeks are topics about things that are going to help people know more about the coaching opportunity, tackle some of those objections that we get a lot of times, things that I think people might be thinking about. So anyway, I know this is a lot of information just like coming at you. This is a whole new idea. I don't know if anybody on our team runs a content strategy marketing plan or not, but I'm excited about it, and I really do think that if we start it and we are consistent with it and we stick with it beyond just a few weeks, I think it can do really, really good things for our business. So let me think if there was anything else in here. Okay, so this is another part that I like. I don't know if you can see this or not. It gives you a little part to brain dump all content ideas that you might have for that week. So I know that the first 2 weeks I'm going to be talking about lifers groups. So I wrote down things like, what does a challenge group look like? Testimonials and transformation photos, objections, money, vacations, time, people's biggest excuses, how fitness and confidence affect our whole life, going live about the Bible study I'm going to be doing, sharing tips about meal planning, how far away is spring break or summer. People are always thinking about, like, you know, if you give them this many days till then, it's like, oh, geez, they light the fire under their butt, right? So all these things, it's a good way to just brain dump everything. And then what I was able to do was take those ideas and plug them in, spread out on my calendar, Monday through Friday, Monday, you know, whatever, the whole week. And it just is a really simple way to have a strategic plan behind our posts. And I did go through and I spent this week writing up my content, like bulk writing my content. So this week I have all my content ready and I'm going to do bulk writing for next week. So rather than, you know, doing, I've found, it only took me 5 years, but I've found that I am much more creative when I give myself more time to get in that zone. So like if I'm just trying to come up with something on the fly, it's really challenging for me. But if I sit down once a week and I give myself 2 or 3 hours to just sit and write, I start to get in the groove. I've got my music on and the ideas just start to flow for me. So I don't know if that's something that would work better for you. How long would you say you spend on bulk writing? Yeah, so it just depends. For all my content for the week, it was definitely more than that. But it definitely, the bulk writing versus even like daily is more efficient and effective for me. So I'm going to try, my goal is to try to keep myself a week ahead so that I don't have to, and it also is allowing me to plan for vacation. So I know, like, okay, we've got a 2-week trip coming up that we're going to be gone. How am I going to do that? And I can prep all of that stuff in advance because I already know what I need to talk about. And a lot of times, so month to month, if we're following the same strategy, we're going to be talking about a lot of the same stuff, and it's going to be really easy to just repurpose that content. So do you guys have any questions on that? I always think of tons of content, but it's in the shower or driving. Yes. It's always like at the most inopportune time. So what I try to do with that, because I have a terrible memory, like if I think of something on the fly, I don't remember it later, and then I'm kicking myself like, God, I had a really good idea. As soon as you get out of the shower or as soon as you can, pull out your phone, and I've been just using the notes section in my phone, and I have a running list of, like, I'll just write a few words. I'll even do that if I'm in the car and I hear a song on the radio that, like, sparks an idea. I'll type the name of the song or whatever, because, yeah, those are really good content ideas that we don't want to lose out on. So if you're running an additional small group free group, when are you inviting to and speaking to that? As 2 weeks are for your challenge group and the other 2 are for coaching. So for February, I'm only inviting to my Faith and Fitness challenge group. And then from there, I will roll those people into the Lifers group so that they can continue on. I have only been doing the Lifers group for a couple years now without running additional challenge groups, but I'm just trying something new. I'm trying to just continue seeing what works and what doesn't work. And I'm trying to build more of my brand, more around faith this year is one of my goals. And so one of the ways that I'm doing that is I'm going to be incorporating that into at least some of my challenge groups. I don't know if I will do this again in March or if it will just be February. We'll see. So would you ever save your story posts and reuse them daily or monthly? Great question. And yes, I have reused stories before, like especially if I'm doing one where it's like a call to action, like with transformation photos, and then it's doing, something like that. I don't know that I've reused a lot of like speaking, like this is what's happening. I haven't used any like this is like my day-to-day type stories again, because that might seem inauthentic. Like you don't want someone to say like, well, I just saw her doing that exact same thing, playing with her dogs in that same outfit, 2 days ago. But if it's something bigger, yeah, I have reused stories, and I think that's a great idea. And definitely you guys repurposing content, like your posts, throw up a new picture with them and use the same content. Like look through what you posted 2 or 3 months ago and use the content, especially find the ones that engaged well, the ones that had the most engagement, and repurpose those ones for sure. Is your faith group 2 weeks or just 1 week? So it's not a free group, and it's going to be a 4-week-long challenge group. So when I first started coaching, the first probably 3 years, I ran new challenge groups every month. And so it wasn't like one big lifers group, like what we have right now. It was every month I was inviting to a new month-long challenge group. And so that's kind of what I'm going to try again, although I'm still keeping connected with the lifers so that I can have a place to plug people into long-term, if that makes sense. More like word like stuff. Yes, exactly, Jess, for the repurposing content. So another thing, how much time do we have, you guys? Oh my gosh, I don't even know what time it is. 8:30. Okay, we're doing good. Okay, so another thing along with the live videos, if anybody jumps on to do the live video February challenge with me, I've learned a couple of things just from researching and following some other successful influencers on Instagram, which is IGTV, which I have heard of quite a lot, but never known how it works. I don't watch anybody's IGTVs because I just, honestly, the only reason is because I don't follow a lot of people on Instagram. Like, I get on, I do my business, and I'm not on there a lot. If I'm on, I'm usually looking at people's stories. But I do know that the Instagram algorithm and the way that people are seeing content and connecting with influencers on Instagram, IGTV is huge with that, and live video. So what you can do is you set the settings. It didn't work for me yesterday because, like I said, this is my first time trying out live video on Instagram. And I didn't know this until after I couldn't find my video. I couldn't download my video from yesterday. But you can set your settings on your live videos so that they automatically save to your phone after you're done doing the live. And then you can upload it to IGTV. So now if you go on to my Instagram, some of you guys might already have IGTV, but it's all new to me. So I am excited about playing around with it. So there's like that one little one in the middle right there is your IGTV thing. And so what you can do is you can save all your live videos to your IGTV, which is basically a place where you can talk a little bit longer. So like the video from today that I did was 4 minutes and 41 seconds. So short, but it allows you to do longer than a minute video just on stories. And it stays longer than the 24 hours. So live is up for 24 hours and then it's gone. And that's good content. So why would we just want to get rid of it? So just have it saved to your phone, and then you download the IGTV app. It is its own app, IGTV right there. And you just download that one and you go in, and that's where you can upload your live video right into your IGTV, and it goes right onto your Instagram. And it stays there forever so that people can continue to have that good information that you took the time sharing, and it doesn't go away. And so you have them seeing a live video, then it's there in IGTV, then you're repurposing exactly what you said in your live video on a post. Then they see it in your stories, and they're starting to see it and say, hey, maybe this is something that I should join, right? So I'm excited about it. I think it's brilliant. It's simple. It's actually streamlining what we're already doing, and I think it's just a more efficient way to use our time with the business. You guys have any other questions? No? What are you guys thinking about the live February challenge? You in? Are you as terrified as I am? So whatever it is, those things that scare you most, I challenge you to at least do a little bit of that this month. Get a little bit more comfortable with it, because it truly is the things that scare us that are the things that are holding us back. And I have no doubt for me that live video is a piece of that. So my goal is to go live every day on my story. That's awesome, Emily. That's fantastic. Seeing people speaking on stories is huge. Like because they connect so much more hearing your voice, seeing your face, than they do to just a picture or a workout video, something like that. So I'm with you. I want to do that every day as well. Good. All right, you guys. Well, we will sign off, and I will upload this. I rarely edit my stories. I stumble on words. Really, that's good. That's good, Jess. And that's the idea of live video, too, because people want real people. They don't want the edited stuff. But we all feel like I don't know the word, but like, not obligated, but like we want to edit it. Like if it doesn't come out right, it just seems, it's like, oh, we should just fix that. But that's the whole idea with Instagram, is people don't want the edited stuff. They want the real, authentic stuff. So don't edit it. I love it, Jess, that you rarely edit. I think that's great. Your tribe will connect with you that way. Absolutely. They don't want perfect. They want real. Yes, so true. All right, you guys. Thank you for being on tonight, and we will talk to you later. Good night.